Joining me on my show today is one of the most exciting fighters in all of Europe. His devastating knockouts have put him on the radar everywhere around the world. I'm bringing him on my show today because it's only going to be a matter of time before he's fighting in Las Vegas in the T-Mobile Arena. You guys should find out about him right now. He joins me from the wonderful country of Sweden, Mr. Tobias Harila. Tobias, welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. It's a huge honor.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, I will say it's a little strange talking to you this way. You know, I think about you. I think about the clown mask and not the real you. So, hey, I will say you look good. I see you got some stitches from your last fight.
Yeah, I do. I do. I got a little bit stitched up, but it's all good.
Well, let's talk about your last fight, Ryan Shelley. I will say this for me. When I found out about this fight, I was like, okay, Ryan Shelley, like he's a very good fighter. He does a lot of things well stylistically. I looked at it and I was like, if Tobias can pressure fight and take his kicks away, I don't see it lasting very long. I was completely wrong. This fight did last very long. It was a very technical fight. He showed so many things that make him a very, very difficult person to have to fight. He had you in some positions that you really had to dig deep for. Like he threw so much shit out there. I wasn't expecting it, but that's me talking, not you. Tell me about this fight. This was like a chess match. This was a very difficult fight against a very difficult opponent.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was like the same. I made some mistakes sometime, like before, with not having enough respect for my opponents. So this time I was very confident. I was thinking I think I'm going to put this guy away in the first round. But at the same time, I was prepared for a war, and I think that was the reason why I got the win, because I was prepared for it. I was prepared to bleed. I was prepared for tough, scenarios and everything like that. Uh, and also when we standed in the cage in front of each other, like stared at each other, I felt like, oh, okay, this guy is he's game. This is going to be a good fight. Uh, and yeah, he did his thing. Knew how he was going to fight me. He put me in dangerous situations. And the thing with this sport, it's always like very small margins. It's like you can make a mistake and it can cost you the whole fight. I did a couple of big mistakes and it almost cost me the whole fight. But at the same time, he did a couple of mistakes, like. Uh, if he just would have hold on to the submission, I was 1 second away from going away. I was like, now it's over. But then I started to like more wake up and like, oh, I'm still in the fight. And yeah, I came out in the second round, got some punches on him, and when I watched the fight afterwards, I saw like, oh, I really hurt him with the ground and pound, and I think that was like a big thing stepping into the round three for him. He like, I think I took away of his soul. He was like, I had him in the worst case scenario. I didn't take him out, and so yeah.
His grappling really surprised me. I didn't know. I knew, like, I think of him, I think of striking, I think of taekwondo, I think of kicks. And right away, when I think of you, I immediately think of pressure. I think of forward pressure. I think of boxing. You do a lot of things, but like those are the things that immediately come into my mind. And the other thing that I also notice is like you were doing a lot of damage to that front kick as well, like making him pay for that stance. Every time he would like widen that stance out and do like that taekwondo stance, like you made him pay for that because you're like, no, you're not going to do that shit on me. Like I noticed those things like right away. And did you feel like you were doing a lot of damage to his front leg as well over the course?
Yeah, definitely. It was something I was thinking about before the fight. Like, if we like go the distance, or if it's going to be a long fight, I'm going to fucking murder his front leg. I'm going to calf kick him until he can't jump around. So that was part of part of the like what I was thinking, and because I thought he was like more of a defensive guy, jumping around a lot, and also I got a little bit flashbacks from the Gomez fight when he was running around a lot. But I think I was a little bit smarter this time. I was cutting the cage better. I was applying pressure, but not too much, you know. Uh, so that's what I'm thinking about now in all my fights. I'm going to prepare for a war and just do my thing and try to be as good as possible and not doing any stupid shit, because also this time I did some mistakes. You know, I know I do it. I give up the back a lot of times because I feel like it's sometimes it makes me get out of there quicker,
Mhm.
but it's a big mistake because if they get the back and are good like him, it can be catastrophe, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to ask you, Tobias, like in the first round, he cut you. And I wanted to ask, like, did that, as we see, uh, did that affect the your fight at all? Like, did it affect your vision? You looked like you were moving completely fine. It looked like it really wasn't that big of a deal. But when you get a cut like that and you're fighting in this guy's hometown, the judges see that, like, does that change your game plan? Because it's like, okay, like this guy inflicted damage on me. If this fight makes it to the cards, I might be in trouble here. So I was wondering, like, was part of the game plan, especially after you got cut, to like turn things up on him and to like go for that finish, or was that just something you weren't really thinking about?
It came in the first round, so it was nothing I was thinking about.
Mhm.
It was more like, yeah, I got a cut, I bleed, like we are ongoing, you know, it's a fight. Uh, but I saw the doctors and the judges like looking a lot at it, but I wasn't thinking about it. I was like, just do not dare to quit this fight because I felt all the way I'm pressuring him, I'm going to get him. It was more like in the round three, my coach said like, "Yeah, you're probably down under big, and you need to finish this guy." And so I was like, coming out in the round three, I was like, now I need to stay really cool, you know, chase him, but not too much. Don't get into a bad position. Just keep it on the feet, pressure him, and you need to like, I need to just get a good shot on him, not like just swing wild. Like I need to get a good shot on him, and yeah, and I did.
Can you walk me through how you're able to get the finish? I looked at the fight a couple of different times before this interview, and from what I see, it looked like just a quick rabbit punch. Didn't look, it wasn't like a huge like looping overhand right or an uppercut. It just looked like a quick little jab right to his jaw that really hurt him, and caused him to just kind of shell up. Um, but was there more to that? Like, can you walk me through how you were able to set that up?
I think it was like I think it was all the pressure. Like I was applying pressure throughout the whole fight, and I know I hit hard, and I think I caught him with good shots all the time. And in the third round, like I said, in the end of the second round, I got some good ground and pound on him, and I think that hurt him more than I thought then. And in the third round, it was like I think it was too much for him. It was like I feinted an uppercut, or I was throwing the uppercut and I saw it's not going to land. So I recharged, bomb, hit him with the right hand. And like you said, it was just a short little punch, but I have that's why like I have good power in my ground and pound. I have good power in short shots. And I know I can like put people out with just if I just get a like good shot, it don't need to be that hard. And I followed it with up with some stuff, and I think it just became too much for him because it was like not a clean knockout. It was more like it was too much, you know.
Yeah, and he didn't want to be in there after
Uh,
you hit him with that. You end the fight. It was a big win. Looking at it, kind of going into the fight from his perspective, it's like, okay, you beat Tobias Harila, like that means something. That's a big deal. I can understand why, from his perspective, why he would want to fight you. But I looked at it from your perspective. I was like, this is kind of a risky fight. This guy's really tough. If he doesn't get this win, I don't really know where it puts him in terms of like the rest of the featherweight class. Like he's definitely not going to get a title shot or anything like that if he drops this fight. Not really sure where it puts him. Did you feel like when they offered you this name, like this is a kind of a risky fight for you to take because it was going to be in Ireland. It was going to be against a really difficult striker, a really tall guy who can do a lot of things well. Like, did you feel like you were rolling the dice a little bit going into this fight? Running this podcast is a ton of work. That's why I like to unwind. I like to have a couple beers. I like to have a glass of wine or two every once in a while. It doesn't take much of it to make me feel like trash the next day. Headaches, upset stomach. We've all been there. It's the worst. Your weekend is completely ruined. That is why my go to is pregame. It is a revolutionary elixir from my friends at Vitali Boost. One scoop with a glass of water before you indulge and another before you go to bed is the only investment you need to make to be on track for a productive next day. It's not just for drinkers. Fighters love it too. After hitting the scales, I know what you do. You go and you grab a sports drink or you grab something else to get you the electrolytes that you need. I personally know some fighters who use this as their go-to coming off the scales because they want the electrolytes without the sugar, the artificial flavors, or any of the other garbage that you'll find in other products. Go to vitaliboost.com and use my code basement at checkout to let them know that I sent you. You'll get a discount for your trouble. You've got nothing to lose. It's a 60-day money-back guarantee, and we ship this stuff worldwide. Check it out. The link for this is in the description. I know you're going to love it.
No, not really. I'm like, I feel like now every fight is a risky fight. Every fight is a tough fight. You need to be aware of, like, it doesn't matter if he's the guy with the belt or if he's a guy with like this guys. It's all going to be tough. You need to, even if you feel confident you're going to knock this guy out or this and that, you need to be prepared for a war. You need to be mentally, like, if you think it's going to be easy, it's not going to be. That's going to fuck you up when it gets hard. I think that's why I won, because I was prepared for a war. I was prepared to get hurt, and you just need to be like ready to dig deep every time. And like risky fights, this and that. I never turn down any fight, and I never feel like I got the opportunity to do it. If they give me a fight, there's only one option, is to say yes or don't fight at all. So I will always keep that mindset, like, you don't need to give me options, you don't need to give me just give me a fight, and I will prepare as good as I can. I will show up and I will do my best to finish the guy. I'm not thinking, like, it had like been like a couple of times I felt like, oh, I'm close to getting a title shot, I'm close to getting a UFC contract, I'm close to this, and it fucks with my head because it's just another fight. You need to see every fight, just another fight. Now I'm not focusing so much on, like, what if I win or what if I lose, because that can fuck you up. Instead, just I'm focusing on my performance. Wherever I fight, it's just another fight. I will do what I always do. I will stay relaxed, go in there, try to apply pressure, and see whatever happens, you know?
You are a person that has been in the game of mixed martial arts for a very long time. I think about you. I think about your career as an amateur when you were competing in IMAF. Your career, you fought throughout Sweden before Cage Warriors. You've encountered a lot of success, but this shit hasn't always been easy for you. When I think of adversity that you've had to like overcome, I think about the Samuel Bark fight right away. That's the fight I think about, and I know that's one that you want back one day. But I would be remiss to not use this opportunity to ask you about it because I felt like that fight. I watched it and I was like, we're about to find out like if this guy's the real deal or not after this fight. Like he's either gonna come back and be a completely different version. This guy's either gonna completely level up or he's gonna crumble. Like that is a defining moment in this guy's life. Let's see what happens. So I circled this one. And then I waited for you to fight again. I'm like, all right, we're about to find out if this guy's the real deal or not. Can you talk me through that? Like, what did you learn about yourself from that Samuel Bark fight? Um, I thought that was like probably the most important fight of your career in terms of like if you were the real deal or not, how you would respond back from that fight. What was that like for you? I know nobody plans on losing. Walk me through that one.
Like it's been like throughout my whole career, I have always focusing a lot on like my mental preparations,
Mm-hmm.
to go in there and fight as good as I can and everything. And like before I got my Cage Warriors contract, I was like, I had a winning streak. I have a like very, very good performances, everything like that. And I felt like I was a little bit on top of the world when I came into Cage Warriors. And like I was super focused on my performance in my first fight, and I like ran through the guy. I was like so good from my own perspective, and I did a great performance. I was like, "Oof, I know how to do this. I know how to win fights. I know like." And then after the William Gomez fight, I was like, I didn't have my like both feet on the ground to say. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I'm going to murder this guy. It's going to be super easy. I was training, I was preparing, but mentally I wasn't prepared. So when it got hard, I got frustrated and it all went bad. And after that, I had another fight with Deki. I performed well, but I feel like I wasn't back on track.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got the Sommel fight, and it was so many fucking shit in my head. One of my teammates had fought him and he won, and everybody was telling me, "Oh, this is going to be easy fight for you. This is going to be this and that." And I wasn't mentally prepared. I wasn't myself in that fight, and I think I needed that because after that loss, I went everything through my head, like from the Gomez fight until that, and I was like, now I'm just going to get back on the right path. I'm going to go back to what I've been always doing, how I've been doing it, and just focus on like my performance and just doing my best and not think about any other stuff. Uh, so after that fight, I feel like I done this many like times in my amateur career as well, like looking through opponents and like yeah, it was like being fucking crazy, stupid, thinking of wrong things and shit like that. So I needed that two losses to like get back on track. Now I feel like now I'm back on track. Now I'm going to like get a lot of good performances from now on. I feel like, but it's not. I'm not saying I'm going to win every fight because I'm not the best fighter. There's people out there that can beat me, absolutely. But I'm feeling I'm going to do my best and perform at my best from now on. Because when it came to the fight after Samuel against the American guy, a
Wilson.
very tough fight, everything. Yeah, exactly. Uh, I was just focusing on like my performance. I was ready to die in there. I was back in the right spot. I was super nervous. It was all good. I won the fight, and now this fight, I won the fight, and it was like two tough fights. It's all about performance from now on. Just do my best, see whatever happens. Not looking through anyone. Just be ready for a war.
So when I think of you and I think of like in terms of like what's next, there are two fighters for Cage Warriors that I'd like to see you fight. I would like to see you fight either Jordan or I would like to see you fight Paul Hughes. Like those are the two that make sense. Jordan was actually on my show not that long ago. Really nice guy. You're a very nice guy. But you guys are like you're different. You walk into that cage come fight night, and it's like that nice guy shit goes away, and it's like that would be a fight. I'd like to see that fight. I know you were asked about it. Like the thought of you fighting Jordan, and that seemed to really excite you. That's something that makes a lot of sense for me. It also wouldn't surprise me. This is me speaking, not you. Wouldn't surprise me at all if we don't ever see you put on the yellow gloves again. You're running out of people to fight, Tobias. Like you're knocking all these guys out. People are going to notice. People are going to pay attention. I'd like to get your thoughts. Like, do you feel at this point in your career, is it safe to say that your time is now. Like you are very, very close to like going to that next level. I think you are. I think you're very close. What do you think?
I just feel like whatever is next, if it's supposed to happen, it's going to happen. I feel like I'm in a good place right now in myself, and I'm ready to fight anyone. I'm ready to like I'm ready to fight anyone anywhere. Uh, my goal has always been I want to be a UFC fighter. That would be the biggest dream of my career. And like, but if it's Jordan, if it's Paul, whoever it is, I want to fight better guys right now. Because, like I said before, even if he's the lower ranked guys in Cage Wars or the highest ranked guy, it's going to be a tough fight. Uh, so I rather fight the tough guys because that's a bigger win for me, you know.
Or
So whatever they put in front of me, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to prepare, and I'm going to do a great fucking fight. That's all I'm thinking about. So wherever it is, whoever it is, it's just another fight, and I'm going to be super ready.
Well, I look forward, sir, to seeing you compete in the UFC very soon. I think you're very, very close. Today is 6 May. I want to put that out there. Today is 6 May. And when I prepared for this interview, I pull you up, you show up on Tapology is like being on the Contender series. I want to make it very clear. This is a rumor as of right now. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm sure a lot of people have hit you up about this and are wondering for news. But for anyone who's watching this, I just want to throw that out there that's it's just a rumor at this point. There you go. I'm your agent. I'm doing the talking for you.
Yeah, like you said, it's. I also saw it on social media. People was texting me saying, "Oh, congratulations on this," and I was like, "Relax, sit down in the boat." You know, uh, for me, like you said, it's just rumors. I have not seen any contract. I have not uh, getting anything confirmed. It's nothing. So for me, it's like until I have a contract, until I've seen it, until they go out with something, anything, it's just rumors. I don't know anything. I'm still signed with Cage Warriors, so I'm just focused on preparing myself for whatever is next.
Well, I will ask you before I let you go, what would it mean to compete in the UFC? Like for you, I think it's completely different um, than anyone else. So, for example, if I interviewed another American guy here in the States, like, hey, what do you think about going to the UFC? Like, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, it's cool, but it's completely different. And I say that because like MMA, where you're from, it's still very, very new. I feel like compared to America, you guys are like 10 to 15 years behind us. The sport did not get legalized in Sweden until recently. And despite all of that, there's still like what you guys are doing in your country is very, very impressive. You have Albrechtsen, he's very good. Oliver Enkamp, he's very good. Pani Kianzad, she's very good. Like there are all these like people that, despite MMA being so new, are finding a lot of success. And for your country, it would be a huge deal for you to compete on this stage. And I wanted to ask you like the idea of walking into a UFC cage representing your country. I know that means something. I know that means a lot to you. Can you just like what would that mean not only for you or but also like for other people in Sweden? Like what do you think that would mean for you to like go into the UFC and achieve a lot of success?
Like I can't even think about it. It's too much, But it would be. I can't even describe it. It would be so huge for me. I can't even describe it, and I think I'm going to really, if it would happen, I would really like make the best out of it. I would make my absolute best performances of my life, and I feel like yes, yeah, it would be a dream come true, definitely. Everybody says it, but it would be crazy for me and for my team, for my management, my coach, my club, everybody. We've been working to get to a stage like that for so long, and we have met so many obstacles on the way. We have like it haven't been easy, but if it would happen, it would be great. If it wasn't happen, that's fine. It's fine, you know.
Well,
Uh,
Tobias, you've earned your opportunity. Like no one handed shit to you. You've been competing for many years. You deserve an opportunity. I think it's only going to be a matter of time. This is me speaking, not you again. I don't think I'll ever see you in Cage Warriors ever again. I don't. I don't see it happening. I think you've done everything that you needed to do. You don't have anything more to prove at Cage Warriors, in my opinion. I don't think you do.
Thank you.
UFC, baby. Let's go. Tobias,
Let's go.
I want to give you the final word. I appreciate you spending your afternoon with me. If there's anyone that you would like to thank, or if you have any sponsors that you would like to discuss, before I let you go, I'd like to give you that opportunity.
Yeah, like I said, it's many people that have supported me on the way, and everybody know who they are. And like I said, if it would be possible, it would be meaning a lot for me. Like with small club, with small team, with small management, we started from the bottom together, and we just working our way up. So everybody been with me on this ride. They know how much they mean to me, and like it's a team thing. You know, I wouldn't be where I am without the people I have around.
No, absolutely. I think pretty soon you're going to need to rethink what your walkout's going to look like because the UFC and all that stuff, like the clown mask, they're not going to let you do that. And that'll be kind of a sad moment for me because I'm just so used to seeing you I'm so used to it. You're going to have to like rethink something, man.
Yeah, we figured something out. That it would be a nice problem to have. You know.
Hey, you know what? Maybe I don't know. Maybe put like the Monster Energy drink like logo on the clown mask. Maybe they'll make an exception for you. Just something to think about. Tobias,
Yeah.
thank you for spending your afternoon with me. I really appreciate you. Regardless of where we see you fight again, whether it's you wearing the yellow gloves or whether it's you wearing the Venom gear, I know that you're going to achieve a lot of success. And no matter what, I wish you the best of luck, wherever the future takes you, my friend.
Thank you very much, sir, and thank you for having me.